There's a struggle within each of us. There are things that happen in life and we have no control over them. They just happen. And we get so caught up sometimes in wanting to know why, or complaining or stressing. And none of those reactions are going to do anything to solve or fix the problem. What if instead of questioning or stressing, we were able to just trust, do what we can, and then just trust that things will work out? My guest today is Michael Weinberger, and he's going to help us learn to trust and let go on today's One Simple Thing.
It's time to build a better business by building a better you. This is One Simple Thing.
Thanks for listening. Dave Kirby here with you once again. Excited to bring you another One Simple Thing podcast. My guest today, Michael Weinberger. He is a software engineer, speaker, and mindfulness expert. Michael has struggled since he was 17 years old with a diagnosis of bipolar disorder. And through his own struggles, he's developed a strategy to overcome, and he's packaged that strategy into an app he calls A Plan for Living. You can get a link to it by going to our website. It's available both on iPhone and Android devices. Just click the link on the banner ad when you go to OneSimpleThingOnline.com. Let's get into today's program. Michael, thanks for being back with me on the One Simple Thing podcast.
Hi, Dave. Thanks again.
Yeah, we were talking yesterday on the last episode about gratitude, and today we're going to kind of focus in on spirituality. But I just want to give folks just a quick recap of who you are and how you came to be studying this topic of happiness and mindfulness and gratitude. So can you just give us the brief version of your story again?
Absolutely. I was diagnosed again in 1994 with bipolar disorder. And so for the past 22 years, I've been dealing with mental illness and everything that goes along with it. So I've been dealing with addiction issues. I've been dealing with impulse control. I've been dealing with mania and rage and irritability. And I was looking for solutions and tools in addition to the medication that I take that could help keep me on track and keep me moving forward and really help me get the most out of life.
And that kind of led you to what you call your happiness formula, correct?
Correct. The happiness formula that I created is called gratitude plus spirituality plus mindfulness creates awareness, and awareness is what creates happiness.
So we're tackling each of those three elements of the happiness formula. Gratitude was on the last episode. Today is about spirituality. And can you kind of give us a brief rundown of what you mean by spirituality?
Absolutely. So spirituality for me is basically anything that happens in the universe that I have no control over, or anything that happens in the universe that I can't explain. And so, here's a simple way to determine if you've ever been spiritual. For any of us that have tried to lose weight, right? Yeah. As you approach the scale and you pause for a moment because you think about how terrible your food has been, right? That pause right before you get on the scale, my question to you is, who are you talking to? Right? You are talking to whatever universe you believe in, right? Call it God, call it, Sally. It doesn't matter. If you pause, you're like, man, I guess something out there is going to help me because it's not working out. That's it. And for those people that don't have weight issues, I'm not blessed. Whenever you go to the ATM and it says, do you want a statement after you've had a long weekend or a vacation, and you pause before you ask for that statement, again, that's your spirituality in action.
So it's the understanding that there are things that are outside my control. It's that moment when when something's wrong and I go, God, please help me, or I even just reach out with that, I don't know what to do here kind of attitude. That's kind of the spirituality you're talking about then, right?
That's right. It's not a religious spirituality. It's and some people use the term God, right? It's whatever you want to refer to, because I believe spirituality impacts everyone, the religious and the non-religious. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So it's getting outside of myself and learning to accept the things I can't control, which sounds an awful lot like the 12-step program, right?
Absolutely. I think, a tremendous component of 12 steps is the concept of a higher power and turning things over. And, if I can give you an example of something I'm spiritual about, again, it goes back, my father was verbally and emotionally abusive to me as a child. I can't fix him. I can't change him. So all I could do is ask the universe to make sure to make him as happy as possible, right?
Yeah.
Because it's not my job to fix. It's simply my job to let go.
That, I don't know, that affects me somehow because I think about my own life and the weight and the baggage I carry around of the people that I can't help, right? So I see people in my life or in my family who are struggling with a certain situation, a health problem, whatever it is, and I almost feel powerless, right? Because I can't help them.
Right. And so it's funny because I feel like human nature or human instinct is to attempt to control everything around you. Right. And so when you find yourself arguing with your spouse or your significant other or your friends because they're not listening to your advice or you feel they're making mistakes, right, that's you trying to grip the situation. But, the example I can give is, again, it doesn't always relate to food, but if you've ever tried to sit in a restaurant, look at someone that needs to lose weight and make them lose weight by sitting in your booth, that's impossible. The only person you could affect is yourself, right? So why try? And many people can't even do that, right? Many people can't lose their own weight, but they're worried about their significant others or their kids or whoever.
Yeah.
Spirituality is about saying, hey, God, I don't know how to do this on my own, but maybe you could take care of that guy over there because he looks like he needs some help.
And there's a difference, I think, in what you're saying. It's not, okay, so I have a family member that has cancer, say, for example. Right. It's not a glib thing like, well, there's nothing I can do, so, oh, well, right? There's an empathy there, but there's also a realization that, I'm in a situation where I can't allow it to just totally overwhelm my life because ultimately it's not up to me.
That's right. And spirituality, an aspect of spirituality is all about humility, right? Because if I believe I have all the answers, it takes a lot of energy to always be right.
Yeah.
But it takes very little energy to say, you know what? I might not know what's right. So I'm going to let somebody else worry about it. Right?
Yeah.
And so for me, the spiritual component is, you're exactly right. It's not about doing it in a condescending, apathetic way. It's actually the opposite. It's more, hey, let me sit with this individual and empathize with them, but know that I can't let it run or ruin my life.
It's kind of like what my wife has said to me, and I know a lot of women say to their spouses or significant others, and that is, sometimes I don't want you to fix my problem. I just want you to sit here and cry with me, right? Or I just want you to sit here and let me cry on your shoulder.
That's right. That's right. And when someone starts talking and I start trying to solve the problem, I've taken ownership of the problem, and now I feel worse, right? Mm-hmm. It's just to be there, right? Support them.
Yeah.
Silence is supportive, believe it or not.
I can feel, even now, as I just think about the things in my life that I'm all stressed out about that I can't control, just thinking about the idea of, hey, I can't change that, so I'm not going to let it be a weight around my shoulders. I can feel an emotional lift just in thinking that thought.
Exactly right. It's kind of like when you realize how much you think you're going to control and you let that go, the responsibility is lifted. Like this is the way I would tell you. If I said, Dave, I'm going to pay all your bills for the rest of your life, you have nothing to worry about. Right?
Yeah.
Immediately, there's some sense of, man, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Right? Now, if you're like many people, you immediately find the next thing to worry about. Right? Like, oh man, well, how am I going to find more pills? Or now what am I going to do? But the reality of the situation is you go back to your gratitude list. Hey, I'm grateful Michael's taking care of my pills. I don't have to worry about that anymore. And you start to see in my formula how your own awareness of the world around you is what we're trying to achieve.
You know, we talked a moment ago about the fact that instead of trying to fix other people's problems, we could just be present with them. But we do the same thing to ourselves, right? Isn't that kind of what you're talking about too? It's like, I'm looking to always fix my problems, and sometimes there are problems that just can't be fixed. And learning how to just be present with myself and be grateful in that moment is a huge stress reliever.
That's right, and so the point you're alluding to right there is exactly this awareness that I'm referring to. People believe that they place conditions on their happiness, right? And it's what you're talking about. As soon as I change this, I'll be happy. As soon as this happens, I'll be better. Well, what if it never changes? Can you never be happy? Right? The reality of the situation is once you're aware of the problem, you could start to work on the problem. Yeah. If that makes sense to you. I work with so many people that start to tell me about a fight they've had with their significant other. And that's not the problem. The problem is they haven't had a proper conversation with that person. So they don't even know what the argument's about. Yeah. So just, going back and circling it back with spirituality, I believe once you turn things over and realize how little you control, you're able to start actually making progress and moving forward.
So what do you want us to do today? What's our one simple action step we can take to enhance this idea of spirituality in our lives?
So I think in order to practice spirituality, I think you pause and you ask the universe for help, and you learn to let it go. And if you open the app, A Plan for Living, you could put it into your spirituality list. If you put it on a piece of paper, just start, if you're having trouble, just start coming up with people that you hope or wish for better things to occur. And that's how you get started.
I love the app, A Plan for Living. We're going to tell you how you can find that here in a second. It's in your app stores. But Michael, thank you for sharing your wisdom. It's I know it's hard-earned wisdom, but I'm grateful. As talk about being grateful, I'm grateful that you've learned lessons from what you've been through so you could share them with us.
Absolutely, Dave. Thanks so much.
Again, the app is called A Plan for Living. You definitely want to pick it up. It's a free app to download. There are some in-app purchase items, but the basic functionalities are all free inside the app. So make sure you check it out. Again, it's available for iPhone and for Android devices. Easiest way is just to click on the banner ad when you go to onesimplething.online.com. You'll see it right there on the right-hand side of the page. I'm Dave Kirby. Thanks for listening. I would love to hear from you, maybe hear your struggles and how you've overcome as well. Any questions or comments you might have, you could direct them to my email address. That is dave@onesimplething.online.com with the number 1 in there, dave@onesimplething.online.com. If you'd like to text me, it's 615-436-2626. Comes right to my cell phone. Would love to talk with you via text as well. Again, 615-436-2626. Also this week, we're trying to see if we can't get to a total of 125 ratings and reviews for this show. We're at 122 right now, so I would like to encourage you. Would you be one of 3 people to leave us a rating and review on iTunes? Simplest way to do it, again, go to our website. Click on the link in the menu that says support the show at onesimplething.online.com. It has links there that will help you get that rating and review done. I'd sure appreciate that. I'm Dave. Thanks for listening again. We'll talk with Michael Weinberger again on the next episode of the One Simple Thing podcast. I'll see you then.